You're listening to The Angry Designer, where we cut through the industry bull to help frustrated graphic designers survive and thrive.
Hey, I read something crazy today that I don't know if I like or not, but do you know that new Tom Cruise movie has actually made like over $1 billion fucking dollars already worldwide?
Now, I'm going to point out too, I haven't watched it, but The Critical Drinker said that was a good film.
Oh,
yeah.
I was hoping he'd be on not Team Tom Cruise.
That's what I was thinking. But this is the kind of thing. It's just like, I hate Tom Cruise with a passion. I think he's a douchebag.
That's his role.
But that's totally his role. I get that. And I really never liked the first Top Gun anyway.
Really?
Truth be told.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
okay. That's a little, wow, you're so anti.
Yeah,
why are you so angry, Sean?
I just don't like Tom Cruise. It's like
I don't either.
Tomorrow,
too weird.
Die Another Day, or Die Tomorrow, or whatever that fucking movie was.
Other than the Mission Impossible,
right?
Obviously, so Mission Impossible, the one that right now, like the Top Gun and whatever. Mm-hmm. Other than those two, and that very first one in the 70s or 80s, when like the one that made him when he was
Risky
a kid,
Business.
Risky Business.
Yes.
So those are like. Those are the roles that are for Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
I don't think he had to play any of his other movies. Like, I don't think it needed a Tom Cruise.
But see, that's the thing. The funny thing is, I liked him better in Interview with the Vampire, or
interesting.
What was the Born on the 4th of July? Remember when he was like a Vietnam vet?
Really?
He's gritty, and he didn't look like Tom Cruise.
Huh,
and the best role that he ever did was in what's that? With Tug Speedman with the
no, you got
Tropic
me, man.
Thunder. Remember Tropic Thunder?
Wait,
when
that's
he
right.
was in the fat suit.
You're right.
No one knew who he was.
You're right.
And he was awesome.
He was fantastic there. But I think it was because he took that role thinking this is beneath me, so I'm not going to care.
Yeah.
And it was an amazing. You're right.
Oh
my God, I forgot about that.
He was really good in that.
So interesting.
So when he's not Tom Cruise, I like him. But when he's Tom Cruise, I don't like him very much.
So I read a funny article today, and it was, of all people, Mickey Rourke was bashing Tom Cruise.
No.
And he was bashing him, being like, yeah, okay, the movie made $1 billion, but it's the same fucking character. And he basically he was like, you're a one-trick pony. This is the same character over and over. And this movie, I mean, again, his character's the same guy.
The same dude.
It's like the same reckless pilot who is like down on his luck with women, but finds another woman in this one, and the same, and still has the same. But like, it was just a complete nostalgic. They just pulled it all back.
Totally, yeah.
And but it's interesting because again, if the Critical Drinker, he's obviously saw the first one.
Yes.
So okay, he must have liked this enough to be like, no, it's not a copycat.
Yeah. Which is interesting.
Interesting.
So I have heard good things. So
yeah,
I think that's probably why it's earned its money, because I think it has.
Interesting.
I think it's done really well.
All right.
And Tom Cruise is a hardworking dude. We'll give him that. He works hard, and he tries, and he's always
sometimes.
He's a little
crack.
weird. He's odd. He jumps up and down on couches and shit like that.
I think when I was in Kansas, we walked by the Scientology building, and I swear I saw Tom Cruise like running down the side of the building in some Mission Impossible movie. It's like, is that Tom? No, it's just the Scientology building.
Yeah, because that's how he gets out. He just jumps out of a plane.
He jumps off the top. He doesn't actually go at the front door. Yeah. He's Tom Cruise. I remember seeing a meme where it's like, it had to have been a deep fake. And there was these two people standing at a bar and in an airplane in like the first class section. And Tom Cruise comes up and they're like, would you like a drink? And he looks at him and he's like, I only drink on the outside of the plane. It's something totally ridiculous.
He's hanging off the side.
Oh my God, that's funny. So you know what? This actually does dovetail kind of into our topic. But I mean, by all means, welcome everybody to.
We went on a tangent there.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Yeah, right. And the funny thing is, we had no idea how we were even going to just dovetail into our topic tonight. But I think this actually works out okay.
I think
so.
It could.
First and foremost, cheers, sir.
Yes, salute.
Salute.
Cheers.
Thank you. Thank you. We're drinking Four Roses Small Batch Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey.
That's lovely.
Right?
Ooh.
Four Roses.
That's
really
so
good on that one. So thank you for that present. But yeah, that's a good bourbon.
That's really nice.
Right?
Yes.
Wow, go figure. And it's kind of an odd name, but okay. Yeah. You know, there's got to be some sort of history significance. Maybe we'll find out about that for the next time we have one of these.
See, Guns N' Roses whiskey, I can understand.
Of course, you would understand that. So by all means, thank you for joining us.
Yes.
My name's Massimo.
My name's Sean.
This is the Angry Designer Podcast, where
Yes,
we
it is.
actually come together and rant about everything that to help graphic designers feel vented, feel vindicated,
Yes.
help them survive
That's
and
right.
thrive.
Yes.
So by all means, please, if you like what you hear today, pause right now, leave us a positive review, and then come back to the channel. We'll still be here, we promise. We'll even pause for you. Ready and go. Okay.
There we go.
So now that we're back, today's topic, of course, is a little. It's
Tom
kind of
Cruise,
cool. Well, it's not about Tom Cruise, but by Mickey Rourke slamming Tom Cruise,
Right.
saying how he's a one-trick pony. Bum bum bum.
Yes, here we go.
We have
a 13-trick pony.
Exactly right. So we have an awesome. As you know, we're big fans of a lot of graphic designers, and we feel it's important to learn from everybody, pick up their styles, learn what they do well, kind of embrace it, use a little bit of your own. Tonight's one of my heroes that we're actually bringing down these points, right?
This guy's awesome.
We are actually talking about Aaron Draplin. Yes. All right. So if people have heard of him, great. If you haven't heard of him, this guy is larger than life. He does not look like your typical. He's the anti-graphic designer. He is like big hair, big beard, trucker cap. Like he is the guy who you would see with a plaid shirt, jean jacket, jeans. Scrubby. Like he does not look, act anything compared to what you would think of as a graphic designer.
No, yeah. Considering the last time we did kind of a feature like this was Michael Beirut with the suits,
Michael Beirut styling.
This is
like he's straight out of the 60s,
right?
right?
Yeah, he's
a
like Don
mid-century
Draper.
one. Yeah, right. He really is. Don Draper, just without Don Draper's hair.
Without
the hair.
Yeah, exactly.
But this guy's the furthest thing from Michael Beirut, okay? But I mean, equally talented, and in some ways people might say even more so, right?
Yeah.
So again, Detroit, Michigan boy, right? That alone says it. But then he moved out.
Detroit,
Never
really?
eaten wheat.
So he's
He moved out
practically
west.
Canadian.
Yeah, he practically. And the funny thing is, he basically ended up moving to Portland, Oregon in
which
the end. So he is
close to Vancouver. That's right.
And you know what? It explains a lot of the Canadian tuxedos that you see him in, right?
Yes, that's why the beard.
Right, the beard, the
that
jeans,
environment, yes.
all that. He
Yeah,
totally
yeah.
fits in. But I mean, he is known for his simple, bold, eye-catching logos, his icons, right?
Yes.
He has worked for legendary companies like Ford. He's worked for Nike. He's worked for Patagonia, right? So again, it's like you look at this style that he's got, and then you look at these clients, and you're like, well, that just doesn't seem to jive. Like, how does that happen? Right? And we'll go into a little bit more. But even more so, he created what is known and what's out in the market as field notes.
Field notes.
Field notes. And it's basically this famous little 48-page memo book, okay, that you see everywhere. You see it at Chapters. You see it online at Indigo. You see it all over. This thing has been it's sold in, what is it, over 200, well, no, this back at the article, it was like 1,000 different locations, over 100 different countries. The thing with this dude, and again, he is like your true creative, right? He's kind of like a junker in the sense that, he
Scrounger kind of guy finds all this.
He says, of course he loves going to art museums and doing this, but he also likes going to a scrapyard.
Right.
Because even in a scrapyard, you can see that things are designed that are there, right? And so what this dude, he's got this whole collection, right? He would go to swap meets, he'd go to flea markets and yard sales, right? And he would like antique fairs and marketplaces and stuff, and he would just collect Americana, right? And he would have buttons and pins and matchbooks, and he even created his font based on some old vintage fonts that he saw, and it was incomplete, so he made up the rest of the letters. He created a typeface from it, right?
That's
like
awesome.
he's like, kind of like when we started, I mean, again, we're all in the same age group, right? So I totally have respect.
He's like 40, 48 or something.
Actually, I thought, he's like
that.
mid to late 40s,
Yeah.
right? And, again, so he came up through the rises like we did, right? Like came into the whole digital age, but still had an appreciation for the old, right?
Nice.
And so he started amassing all this collection of old memo books and things that, like saddle stitch pocket books and everything, right? And there was these things that, people would give, like feed mills would give to farmers that farmers would carry in their little, pocket all day long with a pen. And they would they would write down all their notes during the day, machine parts that they need, this, that, right? And again, going true to his style, to like his whole homegrown, down to earth nature. He was like, no, everybody can use these, right? So he made, he co-founded this company, Field Notes, and I mean, it's just fucking everywhere. And it's not just your typical little memo book with craft paper, but like I'm talking like there's constantly every quarter there's a new design coming out. They're collectibles.
Yeah,
they're actually collectibles. You actually can go on eBay and bid for this shit because people are fighting for this stuff.
That's
so it's
awesome.
I know, right? So and it kind of goes hand in hand with this dude's. So I mean, again, the guy is so down to earth and he's so fucking cool, but he is literally the graphic designer, the anti-designer, stereotypical designer.
Your typical guy who you would expect being a graphic designer.
And I mean, if you don't believe, he's had so many TED Talks.
Yeah.
Go online.
Oh my God.
And just watch one. You will fucking laugh your ass off because he makes fun of it. How he is not what you'd expect. And again, looking at him, his presence is massive, this dude, right? Like he's just so bold and big. You can't not like the guy.
Oh yeah.
Right? Like,
I mean, geez. I watched some videos of his, he's just creating logos. It's just the way he does it. He's just so like us, kind of. You know what I mean? Like
it's like I can relate to virtually every single thing. Even his whole step and repeat thing and make a copy of everything. It's like shit, I do that all the time. I give people shit when they overwrite old copies. I'm like, save everything. Like so anyway, so what we did is just like we did with the last Bay Read, maybe a little bit different here. We went out and we collected a whole bunch of his we'll call them his tips. His top tips, right? Or Aaron Draplin's Field Notes for graphic designers. How about that, right?
Boom!
Boom! You like that? Okay, good. I was taking a stab there. I'm glad you like that.
Awesome.
So this is Aaron Draplin's Field Notes for graphic, and we've broken these up into what he has to say about clients, what he has to say about the design business itself, about design, and about being a graphic designer.
Oh, very cool.
Okay, so I just broke down, and again, we talk about what he said, how it relates to what we said, and we just go from there.
Yeah.
Any questions, Sean?
When do we begin?
Ooh. Well, let's see if we have any questions from the audience.
Yeah.
No? Okay, I guess we're good.
You there with a plaid shirt.
you with the plaid shirt.
No, this is great.
I think this will be fun, right?
And these are all just various quotes that he's made in like over the years in various magazines.
Online,
blogs,
this, that.
Things
We
like
just
that.
kind of collected all this together, all right?
Nice.
So, all right. So first off, what he has to say about clients. So we've got 3 points here. So number one, the most important part of a client relationship, okay? According to Aaron Draplin, trying to get them comfortable from the get-go. Try to get them to where they feel you're fighting for them. That's how you win people. You'll get them excited by showing them you're excited. So that's his quotes, his words. And I can't disagree with that. Even
I was just gonna
fucking,
say,
dude, you see me running around
that
with
is
customers.
That is you 110%.
I don't even get customers and they see how excited I am. Like it'll be a brand new customer prospect. I'm in there and I'm like a kid in the candy store. I'm like, tell me about your business. Tell me, how do you do this? How do you do that?
Oh, that's awesome.
And even before, like, I mean, generally we're talking about the customer an hour before we even open up our mouths about ourselves.
Exactly.
Sometimes it's like, oh shit, we're out of town. Okay, let's set up a second meeting where I'll tell you about our company. Because it's that ridiculous. They see you get excited.
Yeah.
And then they get excited.
Yeah.
Because they're like, this is the kind of person I want working for us.
Yeah.
Like you can go into a place and be like, yes, my credentials are like this and I'm so good and you need to hire. No. Who wants to work with that?
Exactly. If you want that, hire Andy Warhol. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, because that's what he'd be like. That pretentious guy who you're just going to do what I tell you, and that's it. And we're not even going to talk about anything.
Well, see, and that's why, Aaron Draplin has a completely different attitude just overall. So this doesn't surprise me, right? This is about make them realize you're excited, make them realize you're genuinely interested in what they're doing. You're not looking at them as like a paycheck. You're looking because you're interested in them, right? I mean, we basically built our company. I mean, our company name Z Factor is actually stands for Zeal Factor. Zeal being fire, energy, enthusiasm, because that's how we approach. We've approached it since day one.
Yeah.
I've just been like, bleeding curiosity. I'm just like, tell me everything there is to know.
Yeah.
And it shows, and it's what worked to us. So I can't, support this one enough.
And we're in such a great space anyway
Yes,
that
we are.
we can really get jacked about this kind of stuff. And you see the stuff that he does, and it's just like, holy shit! How could you not be completely geeked about doing this kind of thing?
Right?
So yeah, totally. I can see that. But he also, the guy loves what he does.
Absolutely,
Which
right?
we are the exact same, right?
So, all right. So field notes number 1 then, about clients, the most important part of the client relationship. Number 2, let your clients lead the way. In the end, it's the client's piece. I think we need to remind ourselves of this. Too many times we want ownership of the final logo or piece. It's not ours. We were hired for the job. Make it right and make the client love it. That's our job. That was in Print Magazine.
Jesus.
See, that's
Testify.
bold. Really, though. And
right?
how many times do you hear, okay, so I hear arguments all the time. How do I protect this? I don't want the customer doesn't own this. This is our copyright, this, that. You hear people refusing to hand over working files and this and that. And it's just like, dude.
We do that all the time.
Dude, you're being paid to do something for a customer. And yeah, you can argue that, no, they only have rights to the final product. But why?
Yeah.
It's not yours.
Yes.
That design has been sold. You've given it away. Right? Like and you're doing it for that reason. So there's no reason to fight or even have this owner. And this is that whole idea about artist versus designer.
Yes.
A designer's supposed to do things for the customer.
Yep.
Okay. Where an artist is like doing things for yourselves.
Yeah.
So are you an artist or are you a designer?
Exactly.
Right? Like, I mean, again, the
Exactly.
whole point of this, they're paying our way and they're paying for a reason. And there should be no surprise or expectation who owns that logo in the end.
Yeah.
I hate to say it. I hate seeing our work bastardized thereafter.
Yeah.
But it's that whole, what is it? Kill it and bill it kind of mentality.
In that regard.
Do the best fucking job you can do.
Yeah.
Hand that shit over and pray that they're going to keep it sacred as you would.
Yeah.
But you know what? You got to then bill it and basically understand that from that point on, it is theirs.
Yes.
And, you can guide them. And if the relationship is good,
Yep.
you can keep guiding them in the future. That's the goal.
Yep.
But let's face it, if you put up a fuss over the logo and who owns that shit and how they get to that final product, they're not going to want you involved in anything thereafter.
No, certainly not. That's not the way to go about it. We don't do this for that kind of reason. You know what I mean?
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
We're in the whole clients for life business.
That's
is
exactly
our
it.
mentality.
That's exactly it.
So, what team are you on is kind of my whole thing.
Yeah.
So I can't back that enough either.
That's absolutely brilliant. Yeah.
And this one, number 3, about clients, and this one's kind of funny. Don't bombard your clients with options.
Oh, wow.
I know, right?
That's interesting.
In round 1 of reviews and pitches, I always show way too much stuff. But the thing is, you can overwhelm them. I'm learning how to fold that back. And he said that, I think it was in the Adobe blog. But so I feel his pain.
Yeah.
Right. And again, this is why I can associate with this guy. You create so many things.
Yep.
You're proud of so many things and you want to present so many things.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Hands down, it is overwhelming for a customer if you give them too many ideas.
Yeah.
So, the only thing I have to say to this, above and beyond what he's saying here is, I just pitched like 9 logo designs to a customer. 9. I did.
Wow.
But again, it was not completed logo designs. We have an iterative process. Right. And there's a reason why we show them 9 concepts, right?
Yes.
We're not showing them 9 finished ads.
Yes.
Okay. They might see 3.
Right.
If we do something like that, right? 3
Yeah.
finished concepts. When it comes to our iterative logo process, it's staged, of course, and everything is like a stepping stone. So the first thing we do is we identify different, genres, almost like a mood board. And we show them like 9 variations of directions. Some might use a critter. Some might use something in nature. Some might be abstract. Some might be more word mark.
Right.
And it's first time meeting that customer, trying to understand where their interests lie. Like, we have to suss that out.
Yes.
And what I've learned from experience is you show them, a decent amount in this whole, kind of schoolyard or whatever, in this sandbox. And then little bit at a time, as the sand kind of drips down to, wilts away, then you're left with what the fun, and they're helping create that concept. So
Bringing the client into the actual design process.
into the process. And
Yes.
that's our process.
Yes,
Right.
that's-
And for us, that works really well because what it does is it makes the client happier in the end. Sometimes it doesn't make us happier because sometimes they make some really wonky choices. And let's face it, there's only so much, but it's much better to get to that wonky choice together than to show them something that you are so fucking proud of, only to have them bastardize
Exactly. And you're married to it.
You're married to it. You're committed to it.
Sad that
and you just want to fire that customer. You're like, you know what? If you don't take this logo, you're done. Forget it. I don't care.
What the hell's wrong with you? You start yelling at them. You want to just chew them right out.
But I'm sure everybody at one point or another has been excited, and you want to show them all your concepts, all your proofs. But the reality is, in general, the customers really can't see past 3, and then everything becomes a blur, right?
Yeah.
So we usually, our process when it comes to that kind of like conceptual stuff is we show them something similar to what they want.
Yep.
Something, like to what we want.
Yep.
And then something way the hell out there, that wild card concept.
Yes.
And only sometimes that wild card, it brings in great ideas and it just shows them, but it kind of presents them 3 different ways of going about the same project.
Yep.
Right. And generally you end up kind of usually in that sense, it often goes with our concept.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
You have to show them their concept.
Yeah.
You absolutely do. Because if you don't show them what they want in their mind, no matter what you show them, everything else is it's not gonna compare. They're gonna be like, no, my idea in my mind is better. You didn't show that to me.
Yes.
I need you to show me my idea first.
This. Yes.
He needs to see it. And whether they admit it or not, they need to, or they won't accept anything else.
Exactly.
So we show them theirs, we show them ours, and then we show them a wild card.
And then the crazy one,
Man, it's happened. We've had people pick the wild card, which is kind of cool.
Very rare. It's
just make sure if they choose it, you're willing to go with it.
Yeah. But having said that, not a lot of times we choose the actual one the clients chose or the clients created. Like they look at theirs and they think, I see that. I see my execution doesn't really work with that. So oftentimes the bridge in between,
right?
Is the one like, I see what you were going with, but here, how about this?
Absolutely.
And then they're like, yes, that's what I meant. That's what I meant. But yeah.
All right. So Aaron Draplin's field notes about clients. Number 1, most important part of the client relationship. Number 2, let the clients lead the way. And number 3, don't bombard your clients with options.
That's really cool.
So moving on to about the design business. Okay. So this is what our buddy Aaron has to say about the design business. Number 4, don't be afraid to go it alone. When I went out on my own, I could just build the day to whatever I wanted it to be. Ooh. Kind of really cool, scary, but I'm not going to lie. That's probably the best part of my job.
Yes.
When I have a free day, when I'm like, wow, I only have 1 meeting this whole day. I get to work on this shit that I get to without the dude. And sometimes it's great. Right? It's true.
Yes.
Where unfortunately, he came from, he worked in snowboard magazines as an art director. Like, he was, he had a lot of experience skateboarding. He was doing a lot of magazine and print work back then, right?
Yeah.
So he had all the bosses, the directors on top of him telling him what they want to see. Yeah. So it's like a lot of times if you don't feel that freedom, you can't go out and try your own stuff. Yeah. Where if you are able to go out on your own, you can express yourself a little bit differently, right?
Yes.
Not to say it isn't scary as hell.
Yeah.
Because fucking is.
It's crazy.
It's scary as hell. But the reality is, when I was like young, and I always visioned this agency that I had in the future.
Yeah.
Well, at the beginning, it's like I didn't get that agency because I was too scared to. But when I finally started getting more confidence in how I wanted to and kind of the whole, well, I don't care, I'm doing this, to build up my vision. Dude, now we've got skateboards in the wall. We've got glass offices. We've got a giant, swordfish in the front office.
Right.
Like, and this is scooters, right? Like, it's a fun place to work and hang out.
Yeah.
And, and this is because we were able to go to our own. We're not underneath somebody else's umbrella. So I completely understand what he means about, he can kind of build the day, build the vision, build the future the way you want to, not how everybody else wants to.
Yes.
So, so number 4, don't be scared to go it alone.
That's awesome.
Now, with that being said about his opinions about the design business, number 5, reduce your overhead.
Yeah.
Right? Create a lifestyle where you can live comfortably on a modest salary and treat any extra income wisely. Be careful not to blindly increase your expenses. So
that's perfect because that goes perfectly with the first version,
absolutely, right?
Because it's like you're living frugally.
Yes.
But you're on your own, so you can if you're smart.
Yep.
Like we've talked about clients and customers or agencies that have way burned through all their money.
Themselves.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas this is a smart way to do this.
Well, this is, right? And the reality is, we always talk about the problems. Like, designers aren't necessarily the best at budgets, but best at managing their own money, right?
Nope.
You always need to know what that bottom line is first and foremost,
yes.
right? And you need to make sure that you're always above that bottom line. The only thing that'll blow that is your spending habits. You know,
exactly.
If you want to be crazy and constantly have the latest and greatest MacBook because that's just the way you are, well, good luck with that. Make sure you make a couple extra grand every year just for that silly little thing of yours.
That's right.
You know, the reality is, I mean, again, it's up to you to make this actually work. And if you're constantly spending, I mean, again, it's just, you're going to be playing cat and mouse your whole entire career.
Yeah.
We were always pretty frugal, right? It's like we had, I mean, shit, dude, we just threw out desks that we've had for like 20 years. We didn't use them, recently, but it was just like, I can't get rid of those. At one point when we were struggling, we bought them.
Yeah.
And they came in handy. We used them, surprisingly enough, for the podcast table, right?
There we go.
There you go. 20-year-old tabletop. And it looks fantastic.
It looks great.
Yeah. But it's true, right? You have to live within your means.
Yes.
Because that'll allow you, number one, the longevity, to ride those rough times. But then it also allows you the freedom to pick and choose the kind of jobs that you want.
Yes.
Right? Where if you're living and you're building a business outside of your means, you're in a downtown place because you want to be fancy and you want to have lunches every single day catered and this and that. Hey, that's cool.
Yep.
But you're going to be paying for that. And you're probably going to be taking on work that you don't want to pay for that shit.
That's right.
So it's that trade-off. And I guarantee you, looking at the work that this dude has done, right? Again, I guarantee you, he made a lot of, concessions. He picked and chose what he could take. And he did it by actually living within his means.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he's not exactly, living just above the poverty line. Don't get me wrong.
He's probably not the richest dude in the world.
I don't think he's doing it for the money.
But this is exactly it. This is exactly it. And I think too, the guy is notorious for being a workaholic as well, right? So, I mean, I think there's probably some cash flow coming in, but
he's always there.
That's a great tip. That is a really smart tip. I think that makes
sense, right? Yeah. All right. So number 5, reduce your overhead. And I would just say watch your overhead if it was me, right?
Yeah.
But regardless, or be mindful of.
Yes.
Number 6, about the design business, remember to have fun. All right. And I don't even think we do that enough, unfortunately. But anyway, he's like, I enjoy it. I play with it. It's a great privilege on some weird level. I remind myself that every day. So he has gone many times,
Come on.
and again, and I know we believe that, like, no matter how bad your day is, we're being paid to be creative. We are like the rock stars of the industry. We don't have to. I mean, look at the way you dress, for God's sake. Right? And the way I dress, I guess. What am I pointing at you? I mean,
wait, what?
Wait,
what?
man, you're right. What I mean,
no, you're right. You're right. I'm not wearing a tie.
Right.
I'm not wearing a fucking golf shirt.
We got weird ass beards, right? Exactly. I mean, our clothes are clean at the very least.
Yes.
Right.
Yes,
and they fit, which is more important. You're not showing weird body parts. But I mean, professionalism in the way we work, the way we act, and what we deliver, 100%.
Yeah.
But I show up in client meetings in baseball caps.
Yes.
I'm not scared to have fun with my clients, and I will occasionally send over, a weird ass mock-up as a joke, and they get a laugh out of it, right? How many accounting firms would be like, and your profits this year were minus $100,000.
That's accounting humor.
Or better yet, opposite. Wow, Sean, you made $1 million this year. I made what? Joking.
Just kidding.
You actually owe. It doesn't happen.
That guy gets punched in the head.
But we can, right? Yeah. We have fun. Totally. We enjoy it. We have fun with customers. I remember there was a customer way back years ago, right? And we and this was like, I think we were in like year 6 or 7 in business, right? And again, we always had the same attitude, always had fun with our customers. And we fucked up on a job. It went to press, it cost dearly, the client was just like, for fuck's sakes, what'd you do?
What
and
the hell?
I was like, we'll fix it. Don't worry about it. We'll pay for it. And 100% we did, right? But then, I was like, listen, I know we joke around. I'm sorry. I just don't think that we're idiots. We take what we do seriously, and I'm really sorry it was a mistake. I'll make it right.
Yeah.
We hung up. He calls back an hour later. And he's like, hey, and I'm like, oh God, I'm like, he's going to fire us. He's
yeah,
going to fire us.
He's really mad.
And he's like, listen, I've been thinking about what you said. Okay. And I know you guys are professional and I know you guys deliver good quality work, but the reason I'm with you is because you're fun to work with. It's because I enjoy our conversations,
right,
and I look forward to our meetings.
Yes.
So he's like, I know you'll make it right,
yeah,
but don't think you have to change.
Yes.
And dude, like that was such a huge, you know, that was like a sign
yeah,
saying like, holy shit.
Yeah.
I'm
on the right track.
Yes.
Here. Yes.
Right. It's kind of like, it is okay to be a little quirky, to be a little, you know, extravagant, or not sort of eccentric, you know, and out there. And, you know, we're not for everybody and everybody's not for us, but that's okay. Because when you do find that match, dude, it's just perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And that's so nice. That's so nice to have people like a call that reaffirms exactly what you were doing.
Totally.
Because mistakes happen in this business.
Yes.
God. Without a doubt. And
show me anybody who hasn't.
We are super serious about it, but you know, we will make mistakes. If you're an accountant who's button down, polo shirt, whatever, you're going to make mistakes too, right? This is,
and I
just
do
the way
think that too many people in this space take it too fucking serious.
And that's exactly.
And I don't know if they take the business or themselves too serious,
probably a little bit of both,
right? And that's kind of unfortunate because they can't loosen up, they can't enjoy, right? And they're stuffy. And I mean, what do? Can you just imagine what those fucking conversations are like? And I asked him for Pantone red, not Poppy red. Like,
come on, that's awful.
Yeah. I don't know, dude.
Or just you're having a conversation with somebody and it's dry as shit. Everybody's been on those kind of calls, right? Where you're just like, oh God. But you're like, hey, I got a call with Z Factor today. Oh, those guys are pretty decent, right? So, you know, it's
it's like when I go through, you know, my Reddit blogs or Reddit reads that I'm going through, or comments or this or that from other people's site. It's just, you can tell the designer, like the comments that are left by people who take themselves way too seriously by like how intentfully, you know, annoying they sound. You know, like they're like literally sounding like they're. I can't even talk. I don't even know, dude. I don't even know how to describe what it is. It literally. I laugh the whole time, going, "Wow, you really think highly of yourself, don't you? You really like, you know, people like they. I remember reading someone who was slamming Aaron Draplin, and I'm like, are you fucking serious, right? And this person was a nobody with no experience, and one of the comments was like, "Wow, you know what? You're right. He puts so much shit out in the world for everybody to see his work. Can you please let us see your stuff?"
Yeah.
And of course, crickets.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck, you know, just smart enough.
He knows, or that person knows, they're going to get raked over the coals.
Yeah, exactly, right. It's hard to put yourself out there.
I don't understand that. I'll never understand. Like, if you're not a big fan of somebody, you know, why would you rip on them like that?
Yeah, right.
It doesn't make any sense.
Well, again, they're taking it too serious, and they're probably not having nearly the kind of fun. Their idea of fun are lunches, maybe the odd golf weekend.
Yes,
you know,
exactly.
Like, and we've worked with some people like
shit.
that, and dude, it's no fun. It's no fun.
That's not cool.
All right. So, Aaron Draplin's field notes about the design business. Don't be afraid to go it alone. Reduce your overhead and remember to have fun.
Yes.
All right. Field notes about design. Ooh. Okay. So just 2 here, really simple. So number 7, design logos for scalability. Make it look good at the size of a pea or a softball, and then all the way up to where it works on large things. That's the world we're in now. 99 times out of 100, you're going to see that logo on your phone in a tiny little space.
Yes.
So 100% agree. Take it a step further.
Yep.
We've talked about scalable logos, responsive logos, right? We've talked about making sure that, you know, your logos are literally like responsive websites. They work just as hard in a small environment as they do. So again, I think the example he was giving was literally he took his DDC logo and showed it small, showed it large. I'm saying take it a step further, even more than that. And I'm sure he agrees 100% in this sense. Make sure that, you know, like the Walt Disney one.
Yes.
When there's the real estate, you see the Walt Disney logo, like the mark.
Full thing.
You see Walt and Disney.
Yep.
One size down.
Yep.
You see just the, what is it? The
just
mark?
Disney, I think.
No, you see, or you see like next size. Yeah. No, you see Disney with the little castle.
Oh, yes. Right.
Right. Next size down. And then even smaller, it's just Disney.
Yeah.
And then the smallest is a recognizable D.
Yes.
Right?
D.
Like
Right.
it just keeps going down and down. And the
Yeah.
thing is, you recognize that mark every single step of the way,
Mm-hmm.
right? We're living in a digital age. You know, logos, they have to adapt the space that best suits them.
Yeah.
Like gone are this whole mentality about, you know, no, you're doing your brand a disservice if you change your logo. You're doing a disservice to your brand if you don't change your logo.
Exactly.
I'm not saying redesign the fucking logo and confuse people, but
Yeah.
we've had customers who harp on the fact that, you know, their logo is centered.
Yeah.
It's symmetrical.
Yeah.
I kind of think that's boring. But the problem is when you try to put that square, you know, symmetrical logo in like a long, wide rectangular space, it's killed
Yes.
by all the white space around it because it's not meant, and it's so small, it's illegible.
Yes.
And I'm like, dudes, let's make it horizontal to fit the space. Oh no, you can't mess with the brand like that. I'm like, what century are you in? Are you still stuck like in the 90s? So, you know, I have to agree with this. Make sure your logos scale not only in size, but also how they're being used in the medium itself.
Yes,
right?
exactly. That's funny because that logo that we just designed that you were talking about,
Yep.
I was thinking that because I think you mentioned that too. It's like, make sure it could go on a shirt or how, you know, like just different applications that it would go on.
Absolutely.
Kind of thing. So,
well, you also have to think that way,
well,
right?
this is exactly it too. But, you know, like the R could represent something on a phone or something
Yep.
like that. You know what I mean? Like,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, because people are really, really crazy about the favicons.
Yes.
Right? And they want to make sure. And again, if you don't build it right, what are you going to put on with a favicon, right?
Yeah.
Kind of like ours. Ours sucks. We need help. We really need
Because
help.
it's long and wide.
It's long, it's wide.
Yeah.
And
That's what she said.
He beat me to that one. But it's true, right? And
Yeah.
again, now we're struggling with that. And it's okay. It's time for a rebrand.
Yeah.
What do we do? Because I mean, the favicon, it doesn't work. So we just have
yeah.
a little dude with glasses and a beard
But
there,
I mean,
right?
that's awesome. But the Z is perfect.
Oh, Z Factors is. I'm talking about the angry designer.
The us. Oh, okay.
You and I, my friend.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought we were talking Z Factor.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The angry.
Yeah, right?
Oh, that's even.
We need a little
cooler.
bit of work on that one, but that's okay. So again, design logos for scalability and, you know, medium and even how they're going to be used. And number 8, field notes about design. Less is usually more.
Oh,
There's something beautiful about using the least amount of anything to tell a story. So how fucking beautiful is that?
Ooh, that's great.
Right? That's one of our mantras.
Yeah.
You know, in how we build logos and what we tell clients, right? Like people always want to jam pack a logo to tell an entire story.
Yes.
But that story gets lost and that logo looks like shit. It really only has one function to do, and that's just to be recognizable.
Yeah.
And if you expect people to sit there and stare at a logo and try to decipher, you know, the history that you put in there, oh, well, when we started this great land of ours, there was like, no, they're not. They're going to take it at face value
Exactly.
and move on.
Yeah.
And so either you did a good job and they'll remember one good thing about that logo,
Right.
Or you've done a shitty job and it's forgetful.
just like, what the hell is that?
I can't agree with this more, but less is more in my opinion. Not is usually more in this opinion.
Yes, absolutely true.
I think you have to be able to just keep it as less as possible, as simple as possible, just enough of a story to tell,
Yeah.
so it's memorable and nothing more.
And that's the key too, right at the end there, is to tell the story. How it tells the story is crucial. You know what I mean? Like, yes, that's absolutely brilliant. Less is more to tell the story.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Less is usually more. Nice.
All right, so that is what Aaron Draplin's field notes are for about design.
Love it.
And last but not least, Aaron Draplin's field notes about being a graphic designer. Okay, so these are my favorite ones. Number 9, okay? Work ethic is everything. My secret, I work hard. I work way more than I should, I'm betting. And that's how I got ahead. Fuck, dude. I remember working straight 16-hour days when I was starting this business. I remember doing whatever the fuck I had to do to get shit done.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's got to say here, you know, and that, you know, my hard work plus the awesome people that I've had throughout the years to help us get to this point. But it's not like a cakewalk.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, again, and
not just-
what drives me nuts more than, you know, nothing drives me more nuts than people who come in at 9 o'clock and will leave at 5 o'clock, right? And it's like they make sure that they don't take less than 1 minute less what they're deserved for their break. They don't. They want to make sure that when that dude.
As soon as the clock
Dude, it's like exodus out of the office, but there's no problems with them taking extra time if they need it, of course. No, but it's true. It's just like in anything, whether it comes to your studies, whether it comes to wanting to improve your skills, right? Or just, improving your business, work ethic is everything, right? Totally. And I really don't know how people get ahead without it.
Yeah. Yeah. This is true. I don't understand that too. And that's the thing is like, it's funny because 25 years you've been doing this?
24 years. Yeah. Well, we've been in business for 24 years. Yes.
And you're always the last guy to leave. I'm the second last.
You
not
always
that
are,
ever means anything.
Yes,
but,
you are.
I work hard, but I don't work as hard as you, man.
But and the thing is, I guess I don't gauge my day by the time that's on the clock.
It's not that way.
It's by getting my shit.
Exactly.
I have to get these things off my plate, get them done.
Exactly.
In order to have my next day, know, and I feel it. The past couple of weeks, I've had to take off a little early for other reasons, and I feel it, dude. It's just like, holy shit. I only worked like 45 hours last week. That's like a part-time week for me. What happened?
You slacker.
I'm a slacker. But
it's just not right. You just don't feel like you've completed what you're supposed to do.
It's so true, right?
Yeah,
it's so true. There's so many different things about this, but one thing that is for sure that you can almost guarantee every successful person does is work hard than unsuccessful people.
That's true.
Right? They're always going to be working extra hours, Mark Cuban always says, work like somebody's trying to take your job from you.
Oh,
right?
That's
it's
awesome.
True. Before Donald Trump, was president, he made a comment about, 40-hour work week is just what you have to do to survive. It's anything past that, adds to your future to actually take a step forward. So, there's just constantly these people, these workaholics. Elon Musk has got about 1 million of these. That dude works 80 hours a week. Not that I strive to be like any of these guys. Even Jeff Bezos and his work ethic was insane. So much so, he has a song about him right now.
What?
Oh my God, I got to play the Jeff Bezos song afterwards. Needless to say, you've worked hard enough when somebody has made a song about you.
Wow, that's pretty awesome.
But needless to say, you need a strong work ethic.
Yeah, totally.
You do.
You do. You absolutely do. Yeah, you got to put in. It's not on the clock kind of thing. This is
not. It's not.
It's not work until the work is done.
Until the work is done,
yes.
dude. What are you gonna do? Tell the client, "Oh, sorry, I ended up working past my hours, so I'm not able to show you the logo. I promise."
Exactly. It's 5 o'clock. I can't get it to you now.
Sorry. Oh shit! All right, so field notes about being a graphic designer. Number 10, be versatile. Ooh. Okay, you want people to know that you're versatile, because I'll have kids that get nasty and say, "Oh, that Draplin, he's a one-trick pony with his thick lines and shit." Well, that's just because that's all you're seeing. I'd wager I'm about a 13-trick pony, but that's just me being a dick. How do you not love this dude?
That's awesome.
But I mean, this is kind of what led into this whole Tom Cruise and Mickey Rourke saying,
exactly.
"Hey, he's only got one." He's calling them out, and it's true because while the Draplin that I know is what's in his book, right, and it's his style, his look, his big bold lines. Of course, it's not the only look he's got, right? But it is the look he's known for.
Yes.
Okay, and people are drawn to him. It doesn't mean that that's what people are going to expect from you, right? I've always said that I think one of the most important traits for any successful graphic designer, especially young ones, when they're just early graphic designers, when they're trying to get out and trying to get exposure in business, is to be like a fucking chameleon.
Yes.
Right? Everybody tries so hard to try to figure out their own look, but you know what? You're hurting yourself.
Yeah.
You need to, if you want work initially, you need to be able to adopt everybody's look. You need to be able to try to create something that's similar to Aaron Draplin or similar to Michael Beirut.
Right.
Or
in the same
similar
vein.
to right? There's different, and you need to be like a chameleon. You need to be able to create like all these different designers.
Yeah.
So again, because not every single job when you start off is going to be that perfect job,
Yes,
right? And
exactly.
while you're paying the bills, right, you're starting to develop your own skills, your own look, your own feel, right?
Right.
Then boom,
Then you're
go
gone.
with it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, we've got somebody who follows Alan Peters, awesome designer, and again, his look is very bold, but he's done more than just what he's showing
Yes.
on his Instagram. I love
Exactly.
his stuff,
Yeah.
but again, he's obviously got a bigger portfolio than that,
Totally.
right?
Yeah.
So again, be versatile. Don't try so hard, to focus on just one look, one feel, and turn away everything else.
Right.
You got to get there.
And like you said, don't be a diva. Don't just work on your own style.
Oh, of course.
This
Yeah.
is how we learn. That's
Yes.
how we learn to do things, right? You you see something like you like,
Yep.
like the CBC logo or
Yep.
something like that, and you're like, how can I put my spin on that?
Yep.
It's the classic. It's done. It's
Yep.
But this is the simplicity that's in there. You know what I
Is
mean?
beautiful,
This
right?
Is, this
Yep.
is what we strive to do. Yeah, you not just say, "Psh, fuck, that's
Yeah, I
somebody
know,
else's
right?
thing. I'm going to do my own thing." You're not going to find work if you're, going to do that.
absolutely,
If
so
you
true.
can't adapt.
If you can't adapt, you
Because
can die.
how many times did you come up to me and said, "Look, this has to be a certain way."
Yeah.
And it's like, I know exactly
You know
what you're talking
the
about.
look that we're talking about.
Then we're gonna go with
Exactly,
that.
right?
Exactly.
I struggled with that because when I started, and I don't know if you remember or not, but like some of the early Z Factor stuff was always big, bold.
It's always been that way.
Well, yeah, but because of that, I never grasped white space early
Yeah,
on.
yes.
Right. And white space was something I had to learn, mid-career.
Right.
It was like, wow, I've been focusing so hard on big, bold in your face. And like actual white space and
Yeah.
balance was something I had to actually learn.
but-
and it was tricky.
It's totally tricky,
Yeah.
yeah, because that's not what you're used to. But what did you do? You were versatile.
Yeah, that's
right?
right.
You adapted.
Yes.
That's exactly
Yeah,
exactly it. Because and this is the best part. This is the best part of being humble. Like, and we've talked about this before, right?
Yeah.
You have to be kind of humble to realize, like, I know there's certain things I'm good at, and there's certain things I suck at, right? But it's like, to say I don't want to do the things I suck at is really shitty.
It's really
not a
shitty.
good thing,
Yeah.
right? You want to say no. I want to learn how to put more white space into stuff,
Yep.
right?
Totally true.
This is how you adapt. This is how you have a career after 30 some odd years, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
this
no,
is the
no,
kind
I agree,
He's
dude.
absolutely. I really.
Versatility is so important, and
I love that.
That's something that again, I hope if there's one thing you're going to take from this to any young designer is just to learn how to be versatile.
Yes.
Literally, learn more than one style. Don't jump on the latest trends. Pick up everything. Look at the classics.
Yeah.
Look at some of the great olds. Look at some of the new ones. And just kind of pick up anything that you can.
Now something like David Carson and my font, the way I would
Yep.
use fonts.
Yep.
I look at that and I think, oh my God, there's no way.
We'll learn.
He's just so good at that.
He
I
owns that grunge
He
space.
totally
right?
does.
He
Totally does.
And again, that was his. And it doesn't mean that you can't do it.
No,
it
that's
worked
what I'm
for
saying.
him.
Yeah.
It did work.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it'll be interesting to find out if he actually has his own kind of, or if he's had to actually branch out from his own look. That'll be interesting. To find out.
Interesting. Yeah, I know. Yes.
That'll be interesting.
Yes.
Lots in the future to learn.
Oh yes.
All right, number 11 about field notes about being a graphic designer. Be passionate about your work. How do you want to live your life? Do you want to care about the world and care about your work and care about your output and care about your creativity on this planet? I'd say, fuck yeah, you do. Oh, damn. Oh, boy.
I love this guy. Oh my God.
So
fuck you do.
We
Fuck
have
yeah.
spoken about passion time and time and time again,
Yes.
right? In my opinion, this industry, you're going to be short-lived if you're just doing it for a paycheck.
Yep.
Or if you're only going to be doing it because you're good in art in school and you thought you'd make some money, right? Or
Yeah.
whatever your reasons. If your reason is anything other than passion for design, passion for being a graphic designer, dude, that's the whole reason why we do this. and then it doesn't even become a job. It
Yeah.
becomes like a way of life.
Yeah,
As
yes.
cheesy as that sounds. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't look at this like I got to go to work today. It's
Yeah.
like, well, people try to use that against me. It's like, oh, well, your work is your fun. And I'm like, is that a problem?
Yeah,
Not a
what's wrong
problem
with
for me. Jeez.
Yeah, that's the way it should be, right?
If you're passion-led in this industry, like, again, if you're passion-led, you're never going to work a day in your life.
This is true.
Every day is something new. You just genuinely, you're curious about everything.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the whole reason why we got into this. And if you're into this for any other reason, shame on you. Shame.
Well, it can't be.
Shame.
Yeah, that's right. Old Game of Thrones style there, yeah. No, yeah, you're not doing this for the paycheck kind of thing, right? Because, well, I mean, yes, you can make lots of money, but still, I mean,
you can make lots of money if you're passionate about what you're doing.
About what you're doing.
But you know what?
Exactly.
If you're not passionate about what you're doing,
Or-
how are you going to make it as a famous graphic designer?
Yeah. Well, this is what I'm saying. It's like you could go to, like, say, an insurance company and work there, and or a newspaper in my case, and make a shit ton of money doing this kind of thing.
Yep.
But you're not doing what you're passionate about.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, you're right.
And it goes back to what Aaron was saying before, like with his, the frugal aspect of his, you know what I mean? Like, you just pick and choose kind of thing. You don't have to. It's not about the money for him. It's about the design. This is Yeah.
Strongly believe you need to be passion led in this space. I think that's what the really successful ones.
Yeah.
And last but not least, Aaron Draplin's field notes for being a graphic designer. Do it for the love of the game. When you can start to make money doing things you like to do, that's when shit gets really, really cool. Okay. And that's the most perfect way to finish this off. Okay.
Man.
This is like, again, we just literally said, it doesn't feel like work when you love what you do. And if you don't love what you're doing right now, find out what it's going to do to change so you do.
Yes.
Whether it's the place you work, whether it's a toxic environment that you're in. Graphic designers, successful graphic designers who can do a lifetime of this, genuinely love this.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
Not just a passion, but it's love the game, love, we laugh about the jokes that we do. We laugh about the weird clients that we have. We laugh about the bullshit that the software companies put us through or that Macintosh puts us through. Always that fucking recharging that mouse and it dies at the worst possible time. But the thing is, you still love the game.
Exactly.
Right? And I mean, that's what, dude, I went to a Volkswagen bug show, car show this weekend,
nice.
And they had that whole lineup of like vendors selling shit. And I found this box of like 1950s and 60s when Volkswagen first came to North America, literature, like brochures. What is a Volkswagen? Choose the Volkswagen for you. And it's just, I bought like 12 pieces. I'll show them to you guys.
Yeah.
12 pieces of just early Volkswagen literature, like brochures, sales shit. I spent a fortune because it was just so fucking cool. Most people be like, "What? Why you bought? It's crap."
Yeah.
You're gonna use that for your firewood or something like kindling. It was just, and it was all hand done.
Yeah.
Right? Because back then everything was done by hand. The lettering was done by hand. All the artwork was done by hand. The photos were individually cut and placed. And it was just fantastic.
Yes.
And looking at that now, holding it up to shit nowadays, it felt so analog. It felt so real, right? Nowadays, everything's almost too digital. So it's such a beautiful thing to see.
Yeah.
Right? But I mean, I wouldn't have seen that if this was just a job for me.
Yes.
Right?
Exactly.
I would have walked past that vendor. But dude, I was there for like half an hour digging through this box to pull out these 12 pieces of whatever the hell they are. One of them was like a color chip guide from Volkswagens from like 1960. And it was just
awesome.
like, here's your color chip guide. And you open it up and it shows all the colors that came in. Like, how cool is that?
That's great. But this is exactly what he does.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
He's
he
like
takes it to another level. Yeah.
Well, another level. But
Yeah.
I mean, finding that beauty in stuff,
So true,
just the
dude.
simple kind
Just
of
so
stuff that
true.
most people would look at that and just say, whatever, bunch of old brochures from the 50s.
Oh, dude,
Smells
it's so
funny,
true.
you know?
Yeah, smells funny.
But you're looking at that and look at that fucking white
'Cause
space.
he's so appreciative of this stuff,
Yeah,
right?
I know. It was
it's so
beautiful.
cool.
It was so well done. That all that design.
So again, can't say enough. Field notes, for being a graphic designer. Work ethic is everything. Be versatile. Be passionate about your work, and do it for the love of the game.
Yes.
Honestly, this guy is one of my heroes, one of my living heroes. he's amazing.
Yeah.
And he's like, his attitude towards it all is just, it's so perfect. It's so what we do.
Yeah.
What we believe, what we embrace here. So, this was a great list to come together with, to pull up some shit, get some of his quotes, and just be real with this dude.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
He's amazing. Absolutely amazing.
We're going to get him. We're going to get him on the show one of these days. We will. I'm going to make a point of it. I'm putting it out there in the future.
Yes.
I'm putting it out there in the universe, everybody. Okay? Aaron Draplin, we're coming for you, man. We're coming for you.
Please.
We're not an interview show. We're very persuasive.
Yes, we are.
Please, come on. Oh, come on.
Yeah, come on.
Please.
We do it for you.
Yes. So I mean, I kind of feel good about this.
This was really, really good. Again, I'm going to go down those TED Talks rabbit holes that you were talking about.
He's so awesome to watch.
I've watched him create logos, just various things.
But the TED Talks, they're hilarious. That's when
pretty
you
good,
see
eh?
his personality, and you'll be laughing your ass the whole time through it, right? The dude is fucking brilliant.
Yeah, he's very cool. And I mean, Jesus, listening to this, it's just like this is all stuff that it's really close to home.
Totally, dude.
Yeah.
He is another bearded brother from another mother.
Yeah, and the look.
Yeah, I have to. Yeah. Guy's got style.
He's got style. Yes.
Some of the Portland people.
Maybe
we got to get up to Portland,
we should
man.
go to Portland.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think we should spend a week in Portland and make a point of hitting up a few of these places, because it seems like I've got three people I've totally love out in Portland.
No way.
Yeah, this number 3. So
maybe we'll crash on their couch.
We'll
we'll bring some 4 roses.
We'll bring 4 roses. All right, everybody.
Yes.
I hope you appreciated what we've got for you today. Again, field notes from Aaron Draplin, okay, for being a graphic designer. We're talking about clients. We're talking about the business. We're talking about being a graphic designer and about design in general. I mean, I think there was a lot to unpack on this episode, right?
Totally, yeah. He kind of hit all kinds of interesting facets of this business.
I know, right? And again, he's a huge hero for us, and we genuinely hope that you'll get something out of all these points that we pulled out.
Yeah.
And I mean, you'll realize how he can be a hero for you, because honestly, he is definitely a legend, a living legend in our space right now.
Totally.
All right.
He's awesome.
By all means, hit us up on Instagram, please. We're on Instagram, got a great following. We've got, all of our posts. We give some, future teases on what we're going to get in the next day for the day before the posts. And hit us up, share us, leave us a note, leave us a review on Apple and Spotify, on wherever we can be found, because we're kind of everywhere. And the only way we're going to be able to help people across the world is if people share the love.
Yeah, that's right.
Right? Share the love.
Share the love.
That's right. All right, dude, I think I'm out of here.
Yes.
I think this has been a long day.
Yeah, it's been a long day.
And I'm very proud of this one because, again, the dude is just awesome.
Yes.
And I think he deserves all the props, all the success, the awesomeness he gets.
Big time. He is a titan in the industry, for sure.
I think so, right? For
Absolutely awesome. And I can't wait till he's on the show.
We'll get him. Aaron, we're coming for you, man. We're coming for you. Even if we're going to have to sit outside your house in Portland, Oregon.
Yeah, we'll come to Portland, I swear.
All right,
we fit in there.
Yeah, apparently we do. If they all look like us, because the other people also look like us. So maybe it's something we're missing. Maybe we need to move Z Factor to Portland. Oh,
there we go. How cool would that be? Yeah.
All right. Well, more to come to that.
We'll think about that.
All right, everybody. My name is Massimo.
Yeah, my name is Sean.
Stay creative
and stay angry.